Hi, how we doing, folks? Your boy Marcos over here. You already know what this is, man. It's that D3, that Diablo Son Ultimate Evil Edition. Got it for the Xbox One, man. Man. Let's start off with right here, right off the bat. This is a pretty cool thing right here. Shout out to my boy Carl. So this is like a nemesis, I believe they call it, which is basically a character who killed, a friend of yours, or, in this case it was Carl that this guy killed. And then he shows up in your game. If you notice over there, it'll say Nemesis, Weiss, whatever, and his gamer tag and whatnot. So it's pretty cool, man. So, characters from like that kill other people, other characters come into your game, characters and characters, whatever I just said. It was pretty nifty. It has, adds just a little bit more over there to experience. I mean, me and Carl haven't had the opportunity to play together yet, but it's kind of like, I've been there, I've seen that experience. I ran into this random dude. I'm like, Jesus, I can see why I killed him, man. This guy's legit. And then he gave me a piece of armor. Carl, he sent me a mail because he got like a special armor. It's like armor 4, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, this guy dropped armor for somebody else with a different gamer tag. I was like, what? I was like, but what about my homie Carl? Can't hook him up with some of this stuff? So pretty dope right there, a little mechanism that they got over here, man. And I skipped over here, every time I go to the inventory, I just kind of skip through it. No point in you watching me look through my inventory for 10 minutes. I mean, this game's been out for like 2 years. This isn't anything new here that we're doing. It's new to the consoles, but it's not anything new. I'll tell you guys my story with Diablo. Diablo 2, I played Diablo 2. I was in elementary school when Diablo 2 came out, which is crazy, man. The separation between titles is crazy. And I was talking to Janelle, it's difficult for me to even like try to compare them. Because, even where I'm at in my life is so different, I'm working like 16 jobs right now, 3 kids, a wifey, 2 wifeys, baby mamas. And when I was playing Diablo, I was skipping gym class to, hit 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 for potions. It's like a different world out there. But when Diablo 3 came out 2 years ago, I was going to copy for my PC. I had a laptop at the time, but it was a pretty fresh laptop. I was like, I think this thing can run it. And it literally, the graphic card was just under what, was required to run it. So I had the damn game, and I couldn't play it. And I had, I remember installing it, and it got to, 95%. And then it gave me the message of, hey, doofus, you can't run this shit. And I was like, no! And I was pretty pissed, I'm not going to lie. But I mailed it back, got my money back, and I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to play Diablo 3. And then when it came out, it kind of got a little bit lukewarm reception. It was a good game, but, it doesn't have the features that the Ultimate Evil Edition has when it comes to Reaper of Souls and when it comes to Loot 2.0. And also had, the Always Online thing, which got a lot of hate for at the time. We're going to keep this, I managed to somehow for 2 years keep this modestly not spoiler-free. I found out that Deca Kane passed away. I wasn't too cool about that. But that's it. In terms of skills, abilities, gameplay, nothing. I knew it was a little more colorful. And that was it. And let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about graphically. I can't compare this to Diablo 2. It just holds a different perspective. It was probably the first M-rated game I played. That style, that design, that grittiness really served the time. Initially, when I got into this game, when I played, and this is still early on, I'm about to fight the Skeleton King in a second, so this is still Act 1, pretty early on over here playing. But I just wanted to get something up here on the channel so you guys can look at it and see how it is for anyone who hasn't experienced it, and also give me a little forum over here to speak about it. When you look at what Diablo 2 was and that backlash that Diablo 3 got when it was first revealed, it's it's too colorful, it's too this. It is more colorful than Diablo 2, but it was just different times. You can't do what you do in Diablo 3, Diablo 2. It was a bit jarring at first, I'm not gonna lie. When I first picked it up and looked at it, I'm like, man, this really doesn't feel like it. But after an hour of playing it, it looks really good, man. And there's a huge difference that I noticed, and you guys know I'm an audio head. Sound-wise, Diablo 3 sounds amazing. I mean, it's very well mixed to begin with, so that's always a good thing. But just the sound quality, man. When you're and then I'm talking over, so you're not going to be able to, but when you play the game, I normally, put on the big speakers over here, the subs and whatnot, surround sound, I throw it up over there. I haven't played with a headset yet, honestly, so I don't even know how it sounds like over there. But playing with surround sound, I mean, everything just seems like you're cutting and piercing through stuff, and I don't really remember hearing that in Diablo 2 for a couple reasons. I oftentimes, I played in school during gym class, so we'd kind of keep the volume down. When I played at the crib, I just don't remember the audio being that great in it, where it impressed me. So it impressed me acoustically. It did impress me in terms of graphically. It was a little bit, jarring, like I said, and it took a little getting used to for what I expected from a Diablo title. But it looks very, very good. And you got to remember, these things are 3 generations apart, man. Now they're on the PC, so you don't have the console distinction of oh, that was back in the PS1 days. But that's what that was. That was I think the GameCube might have just rolled out like during that time when Diablo 2 was like getting hot. And even when Diablo 2 came out, it might still be on 64. Like, it is old, man. It is very, very old. The main difference. So the main thing I was scared of was I'm playing this on the Xbox One now. I never played it with a controller in my life. Diablo 2. I was like, how does this even work? My 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons for potions. I was like, and then the 2 thing. Like, how is that gonna? It's gonna be awkward on the damn. I was like, are there just all the buttons gonna be over there? But I didn't know that they changed everything from Diablo 2, man. This is so much more reliant on skill and mixing and matching, and it works so well on a controller. I can't even begin to explain to you how comfortable it is. It took me 5 minutes to get used to it and to figure out just what was going on. I got my abilities over here. The A is the Frenzy, which allows I'm playing as Barbarian right now. A is the Frenzy, which allows him to hit him harder and stuff. The RT is this like hammer thing that drops. B is like the shout that like that weakens enemies' attacks. X stuns enemies, like a ground stomp that stumps enemy, and then Y is just like the laser thing that falls from this god that just like kills everything around me. And it all works. You combo it together. It works so good, and it feels so fluent. I wasn't too nervous about it when I got the game because I'd read the reviews and I heard confirmation from people that I trust that it plays very well on the console. It plays very well on the controller, so I was okay with that. But nonetheless, I was still kind of looking at it. I'm like, how does the Diablo that I know play like that? But this isn't the Diablo I know at all. There's some cool stuff going on in this game, man. Loop 2.0 really changed how the loot system worked, and really just kind of made it easier for you to get legendaries and whatnot. And it took away the auction house in terms of the online thing. We never even had experience on the console and whatnot. But the different focus on abilities, the different kind of gear that comes over here. Dang, like it really adds up and builds a very succinct experience. A lot deeper, and a lot more, I think, maybe enjoyable than just honestly just tapping with your controller to move places and hit people. That's what Diablo 2 was, and it was great at the time because it was the best thing we had. I don't know if Diablo 2 comes out right now if it's still that good. I'll still go and play it the hell out of it. I still love it. I still think it's great. But I think Diablo 3 is the better game for right now. I'll tell you, in terms of, the style and whatnot, obviously this game isn't as gritty as it is, but there's plenty of blood. The sounds are definitely pretty gruesome. You definitely kill a lot more people in this game. And, the titles of the places are great. It's like Omnis Cathedral, Dank Dungeon, Level 1. I'm like, oh, come on, man. So it definitely still has like Diablo flavor. And just playing over here early on Act 1, I saw a lot of fan favorites. I was very happy we saw the goat men come back, and they're kind of things. It's pretty dope, man. Another cool things, man, you run into is the world's Tristram's a lot more alive, Like the other day I helped out like some farmer guy who had some like enemies like on his farm, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll help you out, bro. Let's do this. Never saw that in Diablo 2. Diablo 2, there was like 5 or 6 quests that you did, and that was kind of it. And it was all towards the main thing. There really wasn't a side thing. When you like traverse, the field and the areas, it was just kind of places where you go and level up and kill people. So it's pretty cool going through the story and actually seeing that, like, oh, there's a farmer here. I can actually help this dude out. Say word. There's also, these like massacre kills and stuff, and you can build up these big streaks where you kind of combo into stuff. I ran into one in the same field as well when I was looking for this sword type thing. I ran into one that was like, kill 100 enemies or something like that. And I strung like 100 kill like combo as I stayed there and just flame people off. It really makes you feel a lot more powerful, In Diablo 2, you felt powerful just because you'd walk into a room and, people wouldn't really hurt you that much because you had like some sick armor, and that's like sums it up. And you had like a very good sword, or you had like a paladin tank class where, you just hit with a shield and nothing could hurt you. Whatever your tactic was, that's kind of how you felt this. But in this game, you feel power. Like every time I drop this hammer on this dude, like, damn. And you feel hits too. It really, at the beginning of the game, was really a little bit difficult for me to wrap my head as to what I was playing, because I was expecting something completely different. But once you get past that feeling, especially if you haven't played Diablo 2, I don't think you even have that. I think it'd be great. But for those of us that are veterans at Diablo 2, that was my feeling at the beginning of the game. But once I got over that, and once I accepted Diablo 3 for what it is, it's a pretty damn good game. So these guys out there in the Xbox One, man, make sure you hit me up, dude. Friend me. My gamer tag's down below. It's Marcos18205. Anyway, it's the same thing as the channel. But it's down below, same thing with the PSN thing, man. Hit me up, dude. Let's get some loot. Let's do some damage. It's your boy Marcos. It's a Freestyle Friday. We outie, baby.